the last session. So you guys joined the boat at the Bloody Puffin on its journey to Thrin's outpost, and you guys met Darius and Vigo, Vigo is the youngest son of the previous Jarl, and they basically, you were on their boat, and I've completely gone off my head's gone blank. Lee's gone like, now stream, and I've gone boom. Right, let's start that again. So you guys were last at Ulgry's Hall. You did a few favours for Ulgry, and then you decided to take a boat to Thrin. The boat has sailed all the way from an island called Svard, which is the biggest island in off the coast of Norvald, filled with sort of the most important nobles. So you got on this ship filled with merchants and Vigo Karlson, who is the youngest son of the previous Jarl, and you guys hitched a ride with him. On the way, you encountered a mysterious dancing hut blocking the way of the river, and you basically were tasked with moving it out of the way. You attempted to find its owner, which you did, which was a wicked winter witch, who have very bad reputations amongst the folk of Norvald. They're known as being dangerous, evil witches who cast curses and eat the hearts of men. And this lady wanted in return from you an amulet that Ulgry had given you at the start of the session, claiming it to be a magical item, but not telling you the nature of the magical item. You guys didn't give it up. You decided instead that you might fight the chicken, but you overheard the giant hut with chicken legs dancing. Instead, what you did is you overheard some sailors, and they were talking about how normally if they had a few more people on the boat, that they'd just get it up on shore, drag it out of the embankment and move it by. So after you overheard that, you realized you had an interesting potion, a potion to turn one of you into a giant, which you then did, and you dragged the boat past the dancing hut, therefore not having to fight the winter witch or the giant dancing hut. So you avoided that danger completely. You've just pulled in to the outpost at Thrin, and you see, well, can I have some perceptions off you all, please?
Oh, nice. 29.
29. Nice one.
I haven't got my sheet up yet. Hang on.
Oh, Dave.
Sorry.
Rookie error.
Remind me. Is it a 20 roll?
Yeah, roll a d20 plus your perception on your skill.
Yeah. Remember, are you all using your level 2 character sheets that I sent you?
Yeah.
No.
Dave looks unsure. It's time to move on to your level 2 character sheet, Dave.
There you go, 17.
Okay.
Excellent. Dave, what you got?
No,
Are you looking for your character
I
sheet?
haven't got it yet.
I emailed it to you.
Which email? My Gmail one or
the only one I have for you. The one that you used to set up this.
The one you logged in with.
when did you send it?
Like a month ago.
Does anyone else see the problem here?
Oh.
Dave's sober.
No. I am sober, yeah.
Do you need me to copy it into the conversation or re-email it you, Dave?
I got 2nd of the 10th. I think I found it.
Yeah, 2nd of the 10th. That's when I emailed it.
I have it.
Excellent. Nice one. So 29 for Ad, 17 for Lee. What you got, Dave?
I'll roll again now. 7 plus my perception is 7 plus 5.
You did a share there, and I just heard digital voice. What was that roll?
Oh God! Did I share? I got 12.
12. Okay, so you can all see a small boat already there. I say a small boat, it's about 60 foot long. It's clearly got 2 decks and 2 sails. And it's moored just slightly off the river. So it's sort of still floating a bit with a long line down and an anchor. And you notice actually quite a bit. So, Lee, you're able to see that dotted across the shore are clearly the people who were on this boat, and they've clearly unloaded. But you see a group of young women lined up against the shore with their backs turned, and someone is being flogged. And you notice, you can see from even this distance with your elven eyes, you see these silhouettes of these women, and you see pointy ears.
Okay.
Ooh.
So as the boat pulls up and narrows down, you go against the shore, the board comes down, the anchor drops, and everyone starts unloading from the ship.
Okay, so the people the elven women, I presume it is, are the people that are flogging them the same race?
I mean, you rolled a good perception. The people who are flogging them, some you can't tell because they've got helmets on, but there's a lot of facial hair. Full elves don't have facial hair. Half elves can get facial hair. So your characters, both of you being half elves, you can be a bit stubbly if you, or beardy if that's what you wanted. These women, you can't tell if they're full elf, half elf. All you can see is pointy ears. They look humanoid. They're fair of skin. They don't look like they're a goblin or anything like that. Could you give me a knowledge nature, please, Ad, if you want to identify what race they are, particularly the subtle differences between half elf and elf?
9.
9. Okay, you're not entirely sure. They're elvenish. They remind you of similar features to you, but to be honest, they could be anything. You just feel a bit of a kinship with those ears.
So the people flogging them, are they the same?
No.
Okay.
They are the ones that you can see are round-eared. Humans, obviously, with your bonus about spotting humans. Yeah, so even the ones with helmets on have a more sort of human build, broader build. You think they're human. And you also notice dogs with them as well.
Right. Okay. So we're all off the ship now, are we? All unloaded.
Still on the ship. Most of the sailors are off now, taking crates and cargo. The oar master has decided to get off, and Vigo and Darius and Sved have left the ship. And Sved has just sort of basically said, I'll meet you in the outpost, guys. And there's just a big building. So let's move to the outpost picture. So let me describe the layout a little bit better to you. So you're on the coast, and to the south of you a bit more, you see this procession. You see this long line of people. There's a couple of crates. There's an elven woman an elvish woman getting flogged by a man with a big hat on and a big beard. There's 2 people either side of them, and there's 2 dogs with them as well. And they're just overseeing this long line of women. 5 women in total, all standing lined up against the shore. There's a big building, only one really big building in sight, and that is the outpost building. There's a few little sort of fortifications. There's like a little wall. There's a tiny tower over in the distance. But other than that, the only main thing is this big building, which is known as the outpost.
So I say to Angelos and Giles, have you seen this boat with all these appear to be elven women being flogged? What do you make of that?
Quick question: did my character actually see this? Because I rolled quite low.
Well, I can tell you.
So yeah.
Oh.
You all saw the other boat.
I think we should take a closer look.
I agree.
So you guys approach, and what I'll do is I'll bring it up on the map for you, so you're able to see. So I'll move. Just in case there's combat. You never know, do you? But you've always got to prepare. So time to reveal the area. Can you guys see that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I've revealed you three. You can see the guy, the three men, the dogs, and the line of elven women, and the woman being flogged on a. It looks like some sort of bench that she's tied to, that they've dragged off the ship. They've turned over, they've tied her to it, and they're just flogging her back.
Right. So all I can see on the screen at the moment is just two blokes. Is that right?
What can everyone else see?
See us.
I see the whole shore.
Yeah. 'cause-
Zoom out, Ad.
Oh my. Ah, there we go. That makes more sense now. Okay, awesome.
Tell you what, I'll hide the interior of the tavern. There you go.
Right.
I mean, I'm not keen on people being sold here.
Mm.
But do we really want to get into battle?
Inherently evil. It's just like,
Sorry?
I can't stop that shit.
Well, morals are different regardless of whether you're evil or good. Some people don't like slavery. Some people don't like,
Oh yeah, fair play, yeah.
I mean, if I've got no point. If I wanted to kill them, not a problem at all.
I'm just expecting you just walk over and just start stabbing animals, people.
Yeah, no, killing them's fine. I just don't like being
I'll
sold.
take a wander over to this bloke nearest to us and inquire what the crack is.
Okay, do you want to move over? Do you want to move your character up to him then?
Oh, how do I do this now? I've forgotten.
Drag and drop.
Oh, I was trying to move somebody else. That's why. Okay. Awesome.
So you guys get there, and this guy's so busy flogging he doesn't even notice you. The other two, however, both of them sort of turn round to have a quick sort of look at you, but don't really gauge you're a threat. They see three armed men approaching, but the dogs all certainly see you, and this one comes over and immediately is starting to bark, particularly at you, Ad. So there's two dogs there, and one of them is just going ruff, 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 like specifically at you, Ad.
Oh, of course. That'll be the pointy ears, and I'll take it.
Yeah, and this guy turns round and he says, "Look here, another elf."
A problem with that?
He says, "You don't see many free elves around this part."
You're going to see a couple more in a minute.
Unless, and he turns to Dave, "You've got yourself a little boy servant or lady.
Oh
I can't much tell."
I can't much tell. Cheeky.
Yeah, I mean, since he has such a problem with pointy ears, I'm going to call off both of his. See how ladylike I am then.
Oh, I'm
He
already
says,
looking.
unless you want to line up with these ladies and wait for your turn, I suggest you move on.
Don't tease me.
So, where are these ladies bound for?
He ignores you.
Oh, okay.
He says, I answer questions from people.
Where are these ladies bound for?
Can I give him a melee punch in the jaw?
You're in range. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to let you know, so this guy is armed. And whenever you attempt to punch someone or do an arm strike and you're not specifically trained in an arm strikes, you open yourself up to an attack of opportunity. So if someone's got a dagger and you attempt to swing with them with their fist, if they're trained in that weapon, they can have a stab at you before you manage to let your punch go, unless you catch them unawares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a I'm trying to think what's the best. Are you sort of how obvious are you about
How about this? How about
Yeah.
It's just like a
blessed
blatant
fist?
in the nose. How rude. Smack.
Oh, okay. In fact, I don't think he's that worried. I think he's surrounded by dogs, heavily armored men. I think he's just gonna take it and see what. I don't think he thinks you're gonna punch him. So do you want to roll, Ad?
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh my god. So I take because it's human, so I get a +2 for that.
You do
which
get a
doesn't
+2.
help much. So altogether,
So
that's 5.
you add on what you'd hit for a melee weapon.
So for a melee weapon.
Yeah, but then you'd -4 because you're not skilled in attacking people with your fists, and then the damage would be non-lethal because obviously it's a fist rather than a club or a sword or something like that.
So I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay. So
which would be-
critical fail means that the
Yeah.
worst possible outcome happens. So basically, you attempt to strike him and then just fall down in the snowy bank. So you're so angry that you just like a little kid trying to
latch out.
do that, and he like just puffs out his chest and he laughs, and he actually turns around and gets back to whipping this woman, and he's just shouting, "That's what you get when you run away."
Oh,
So, can I do something?
Oh,
Yeah, of course you
no.
can.
Can I command that dog to the right, closest to him, to bite him?
bite his balls. Bite his balls, Lee.
Right, let's have a look at the rules for command, because I believe it's generally for people, someone who'd be able to more adequately understand the command. But let's have a quick look. So, Pathfinder command spell.
See, I've got one living creature effect. You can give a subject a single command which it obeys to the best of its ability at its earliest opportunity.
Oh yeah, totally. So the options are you can have approach, so have it move towards you, drop, fall, flee, and halt are generally the things that you can do. Attack isn't part of this spell, because it's sort of it gets more powerful later on, if that makes sense. There's higher level spells that cause you to attack. So it would be basically you can either get it to move somewhere, you can either get it to go up to something, you can either get it to drop something it's holding, get it to fall over, get it to run away, or get it to stop. But you're not going to be able to get it to bite him.
This is a shame.
What about getting the dog to go in front of the woman to get in the way of the strikes? So he
Yeah,
won't
totally.
target people?
Yeah, you could do that.
That's up to you, right?
I like this plan. I will do that. I just want your guns ready to give him a whack. So I'm going to command this dog to get in between the woman
Ready.
and him.
Cool. While the whipping's happening, yeah, cool. Go for it. That's quite inventive. That is. Let's give it a go then. So you cast the spell. Let's have a look. Is it a will save? What is it? It's a mind compulsion. It's a will save that negates, and it is Lee. What do they have to save against on your character sheet? Do you know?
I'm just having
Should
a
say
look.
underneath the spell.
Oh, damn. It is
DC 13.
Oh, is that what DC is?
So you know when it says SR yes,
Yeah.
DC 13 will negate. So he has to roll. The dog has to roll better than a 13 on a will save,
Okay.
which it does not. Which dog is it?
It's the one on the right, closest to him.
Okay, cool. So the dog moves in front of the woman, and
You right?
yeah, suddenly I'm getting very loud music through.
Okay.
Okay.
1 second. I don't know why there's music so loud. Oh, it's an advert that popped up in my browser. Oh my god, that was terrifying. That was like a really loud. That was like a loud drum and bass that half deafened me. Anyway, sorry. Dog moves in front of the man, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reflex save for this guy to avoid missing the dog, because it's kind of just from and
Oh, something's bad's going off my internet. One sec.
so he whips the dog,
Right.
and I'm going to say the dog's going to bite him.
Oh, this actually went out quite well.
Dog hits. Just getting out my relevant corresponding dice. And the dog's bite is 1d4. So this bloke takes some damage. So the dog sort of savages this guy's hand, and he's like, "No, Rover, get off, leave." And the dog then wanders away. And he's like, "Blasted animal." And he turns around to you and he says, "Off with you, off with all of you. This is none of your business. I'll turn my dogs to you."
Go on, give him a punch.
Oh, actually, on this other dog next to me, can I use wild empathy? Is it? It says you can improve the attitude of an animal. This ability functions just like diplomacy check, made to improve the attitude of. It always says a person.
Yeah, a person, an animal will work.
Okay.
So yeah, you could do that to the dog. So what are you going to do? What's the action you're going to do in order to try and get it to, be a bit more friendly and in tune to you? Because at the moment these dogs are, and they're quite grumpy dogs.
I'll take a little chunk of some of the a day ration and chuck it over for it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at the rules of wild empathy then.
So you roll 1d20 plus 0 to determine the wild empathy check result.
Excellent. Can you roll that then for me, Ed?
Yeah. 10.
Excellent. Just going to have a quick look. So the diplomacy check is versus. Okay, so this dog goes for the treat and begins eating it. Sort of, and he's just where before it was barking at you. It's now ignoring you.
Indifferent.
Yeah. So yeah. So this guy still has a whip in his hand, and the other two warriors. One of the warriors begins to approach, and the other warrior is still keeping an eye on the rest of the elven women.
Come on, Angelus. I haven't seen you get involved yet.
So, what's the thoughts here? Do we want to free them or do we want to leave them to this task?
How about, can we ask this guy who they belong to?
Who's receiving them here?
Yeah.
He says, "It's none of your business." He says, "We sell to whoever." He says, "Are you buying? It'll be expensive for you."
How expensive?
He says, 200 gold, girl.
Oh, fuck.
Even the one that was trying to run away, that's a bit of trouble. No discount on that one.
He looks at her and he grabs the back of her hair, and you could see that she's a bit more prettier than the rest of them. She's wearing a different outfit as well. She's wearing like a long flowing dress, clearly a bit more expensive, but he's just torn the back of it open. And as you can see, there's big long lines where he's whipped her on the back. And he says, "This one's special."
God.
He says for her 300 gold.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. What can I do to make you drop your price?
Hello, sailor.
He says, "Well, we can always trade a bit of currency." He says, nice strong elves like these, I could do with some use for them."
That's what I'm gonna kill.
He says, "You bring, you get them to slap some chains on, and I'll trade you a couple of girls for them."
Tempting. So, what makes this one special? I want to know if they're worth my 2 elves.
He says, "She's pretty."
Did it say that was like 1 tooth?
Yeah, he did. Like these are the sort of people. So I mean, these guys look rough, like super rough. These guys are heavily armored. They look a bit moth-eaten, but they clearly own a boat, and there's still like people just unloading their boat. So there's people around, but they're not armed. It seems like these three guys are the only people that are armed on their boat, and they're overseeing these women come to shore.
Right.
Hmm.
I don't think there's a whole bunch we can really do, is there?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like challenging him to a competition to see if we can win him. Or win her, at least. By the way, I have full disclosure, I just intend to win it and then just let her set her free. You're a free woman now, go! You
I
have
just
to
be
fight,
thinking
but
she was
go.
going to be your pet. Well, what we've got? We don't know how strong they are. 3 of us. 3 of them. Plus 2 dogs.
I mean, does he fancy having a go at axe throwing? Closest to the ball.
Do you ask him?
Thing is, what you're gambling though, Dave.
Me
and Lee can end up shackled on this boat.
And that's the end of Vangelis' adventure.
Can I turn to the lady and ask her what her name is?
Okay. As you do that, he like forces her head down back against the bench, and he says, "People who aren't human don't talk."
That's it. I've had enough of this guy.
He says, "Slaves have no names." He says, "You can call her what you like once you've purchased her, but I just call her slave."
I really dislike this guy.
Yeah, so do I.
He's not a nice man. Strangely
horrible,
enough,
horrible.
he makes his living capturing people and selling them.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, point.
Am I in touching distance to this guy?
Oh, what do you think, guys? I think.
So I'm wondering if, like, where we go to here, are these types used as staff and stuff, like, quite regularly?
Stuff and stuff.
You know what I mean? Slaves. So, like, are we going to turn up a few other noses by messing about with this?
Well, you don't know. You don't know anything about them, do you?
Because where are we at now? Is this the outpost now?
Yeah, so this is the outpost, the large building.